Hey dolls and my YouTube family, what is up? So, I am coming to you guys to kind of talk about what I've been doing the last couple of days with my makeup collection and, you know, stuff like that. I've been depotting all my Wet n Wild palettes. The only palettes that I have left to depot are the 3 limited edition palettes that were sent to me. So I have to depot these, and then I also have some singles that, you know, I got as backups or doubles that I have to depot. So if you guys are wondering and you haven't seen my previous videos on what I've been doing, I have actually been making these, do-it-yourself DVD case Z palettes. And now this was not my original idea. I did not come up with this, you guys. There are other people that kind of inspired me to do this here on YouTube. They did videos on this and I just fell in love with it. And I thought, you know what, to depot my drugstore shadows into and stuff that I use on a daily basis, that's not going to really go in my kit. Although, let me tell you that I do feel that these are, you know, they're not obviously as sturdy as a Z palette, but they are sturdy enough to carry in a makeup kit. But, you know, I have my Z palettes for that. If, let's say, I don't have enough and I need one, then I would certainly, you know, so use these. I think I am going to make a couple magnetic ones and maybe try to enforce the plastic somehow, just a little bit better. You know, you could even buy a stronger plastic and put it in here. You know, it wouldn't be hard to do that. So, anyways, it's just such an easy thing to do. If you guys want to know how to do this, you can go to my previous videos. I have, you know, I didn't show you exactly step for step how I did it because obviously I'm on my phone. You guys know I work with one hand, so it's not easy for me to do things like that, but I did explain it kind of step by step, and I also linked in the description box down below each video the other ladies here on YouTube that I actually got the inspiration to do these palettes from. I have their channels in the description bar, and I can also actually, I will put it down in this description bar as well, so you can go check out their channel. And watch the videos on actually how to make these. I have been at night after, you know, doing whatever I did all day, been coming home and making these palettes. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I've made 4 so far, but that's because in between depotting and making these, you know, it doesn't just take 10 minutes to make a palette. I found that in making these that the part where you have to cut out the actual plastic piece to the DVD, it can take some time. It's not easy to always cut through. Like, I've been using my box cutter, where is it? Here it is. I've been using this box cutter that I got from the dollar store, and it's been working just fine. But, I found with certain DVDs, some of the plastic is a little bit, I guess I could say, more solid than the other, so some of them have been harder. Like, I've only made 4, but the last one I cut out, which I think it was this one, it was a lot harder plastic. So yeah, it was a little bit harder to work with, but it did work, you know, obviously. So I promised you guys that I'd come and show you what the finished product looks like. I have these 4 palettes done, but I have not actually glued down the shadows. I did place some of the shadows where I wanted them to go, so I do have to glue them down. But I'm unsure on if I want to use a glue gun or if I want to use this Duct cement, it's called. I'm not exactly sure which one I should use. This one I don't have a whole bunch left. I would have to get another one, but I'm thinking, I don't know, that's the part that I'm kind of confused on. I'm not really sure what glue I should use for this, because these ones I'm not making magnetic. In the future I will make some magnetic ones, but I've just decided that I'm going to keep these to where I just can glue them in, because these are, you know, shadows that I'm not going to switch out, and if I do need to switch them out, I can just pull them out, you know what I mean? So, I'm confused on what glue I'm going to use. If you guys have any suggestions on that, let me know down below. I was going to use a hot glue gun, which I think would work just fine, but I'm not sure, you know, because this is duct tape, it's plastic. I mean, I guess it would be fine, but, yeah. So I haven't glued them down yet, but I will show you the way I arranged them. So this is what the inside looks like. You just, you know, I put down the leopard print on the bottom because when you take that plastic piece off right here, you're left with the tape from the other side, and it's white and sticky. So obviously you want to cover that up, and plus it kind of just makes the palette look more finished. Makes the palette look more finished. Sorry, guys. And then I also decided something I did different than the other women that I've seen make these. I didn't see them put any type of tape up under. Okay, let me explain this better. In the front, you know, you have to, you know, obviously put tape on all four sides. That's what gives it the shape and the form of a Z palette. Well, on the inside, I've just seen them, they just leave the tape blank, you know, so you could see the white through. Well, I didn't care that it looked like that. You guys know me, I'm a little bit of a neat freak, but that didn't bother me. I did it to reinforce this plastic. It seems to make it more stiff and strong, and plus it does look neater, you know, and, you know, I kind of taped the sides down. The first palette I made, I didn't do that because I didn't need to, but the rest of them I am going to do like this. So, yeah. So it's fairly easy, you guys, and I mean, it's so inexpensive, you can't go wrong with this project at all. And like I said, these snap shut, so they are pretty sturdy. They're not going to come open on you, you know what I mean? The only thing that bothers me is because I cut with the box cutter to make it look neat on the sides. If you could see that, the sides, some of them don't sit all the way down, but I suppose that could be easily fixed. So, but it doesn't bother me. It's not like getting in the way or anything like that. You guys just know I'm a neat freak. So anyways, yeah, so they turned out really well. And like I said, they snap close and they stay shut pretty good, which I'm a big fan of that, you know. And I like that they can be stacked on top of each other. And you know what I also like, you guys? And this is the coolest part about it. Well, not the coolest part, but this is a cool part that I just thought of the other day. These are the size of a DVD. A lot of us have DVD holders, whether it be a countertop DVD holder or, you know, one that stands on the floor or one that's just maybe little that sits next to your TV. But you can get them very inexpensive, especially the tabletop DVD holders, and your palette's going to fit right in that slot. So if you were to get a DVD top, or a DVD top, that didn't make sense. Sorry guys, brain fart. If you were to get a DVD holder, all your palettes can be arranged in that holder because they are the size of a DVD and they are going to fit. So I was kind of excited about that too, because that's a really good organizational, is that a word? I don't know. If not, I just made it up. But that's a really good organization, you know, situation there. If that makes sense. But I'm being serious, because you think about it, I have a DVD holder downstairs, but it's the kind that stands up and it holds like 200 DVDs, and it's the kind where it's just racks, so there's not really slots. But I will be on the lookout for a DVD holder now, just because of this, because you can set it right on top of your vanity or right on top of your dresser where you keep your makeup or anything like that, and just slide these right in there, and then you got them organized. You know what I mean? If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, sometimes it's hard to find holders that are going to fit palettes. And if you find one that has big enough slots, you can even fit your Z palettes or Mac palettes or whatever in there. You know what I mean? I've been using a letter holder, which works fine for on top, you know, but something where you want to keep everything organized, I just think that's awesome. So that's another plus to this, is that you can keep this in any type of DVD storage unit thingy, if that makes sense. So these two don't have anything in them yet. I'm going to work on putting stuff in them tonight. The other two do, and I just want to show you compared to the Z palette. My mom was like in awe when I showed her the first one I made. Here's my leopard print Z palette, and you know, obviously it's cardboard and it has the plastic here, and then, so, sorry guys, Z palette, DVD palette, Z palette, DVD palette. Pretty cool. So, alright, let me show you what I did with the first one. well, this is the second one I made, actually, so we'll start with the second one. I decided to depot all of my 3-pan palettes from Wet n Wild in here. There's obviously some missing because I don't have them all, but once I get them all, I'll just put them in another palette. Not a big deal. Because I think there's only a couple that I'm missing, really, if I think about it. So I put in, I think this one was Walking on Eggshells, Knock on Wood, Cool as Cucumber, Don't Steal My Thunder. What? Sorry, that was Cool as Cucumber. Don't Steal My Thunder. I'm Feeling Retro, which I want to talk to you guys about this 3-pan palette in a minute. Then this one down here, the silver, the black, and the pink is Spoiled Brat. And then these were limited edition, all these right here. There is Flora and Fauna, which I don't remember which is which. I'm going to have to look it up just so I can, because I have labels, which I'm going to make nicer ones. But this is just so I know which is which. And I'm going to put them on the back so I know at least which palette is which. And then, so yeah, Flora and Fauna. I want to say that this is Fauna right here. And then this one's Flora. But I could be wrong. And then over here I have the 6-pan palettes. One that I already had, which was Pride. That is the top. It's right here. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 on the side. And then the other 2 were sent to me. And this one is Greed. And then Lust down here. Now, I couldn't fit Lust the way I wanted to in here, so I actually had to cut off one of these plastic things just so I could fit one more shadow in, but I don't mind it because I want them all together, so I don't care if it doesn't look exactly neat. That's not the purpose. The purpose is that they're all together, you know. So these aren't glued down yet, but some of them, like, you would think they are because they don't move around too much. Some of them still had quite a bit of tackiness on the bottom from the shadows. I'm just getting shadow all over me. And I'm wearing my Tinkerbell pajama pants. So, yeah. So that's the first, or that's the second palette I did, which I actually had a lot of fun arranging everything, so now I just gotta glue it down. I'm just unsure of what type of glue I want to use. Okay, so that is the second palette. The first palette is the 3 8-pan palettes that they have in their regular line. See, these things, when they're shut, let me tell you. Hopefully I can get this open. I thought I had it open. Okay, there we go. So that's a good thing. At least you know your shadows are not going to fall out. It reminded me that there's something I want to talk to you guys about, which I will talk to you at the end. Well, you can't remind me. It's not like you're here to remind me, but I'll remind myself that there's something I want to show you guys. Okay, so the first one I made is all of the palettes, like I said, the 8-pan palettes that are regularly in their regular line, where they're not limited edition. You can get them all the time. And I still have to arrange these because I don't know if there's any more that I'm going to be able to fit in here. I do have one of the 3-pan palettes down here, only because one of the shadows broke. It's another one that was sent to me, and I don't want to put the shadow in here because it's broken. So I just put these 2 in here because they were just kind of strays. So I decided that what I'm going to do is, instead of filling this whole palette, because there's a couple shadows that I would like to get so I can have doubles of, like this one from Comfort Zone, I want to get another palette just so I can have this color alone, because I love this chameleon color. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably get some more and then put the second shadows over here, so I have another one. But, so yeah, the first one is Comfort Zone, which, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it goes all the way down here, Comfort Zone. And then this one is Pedal Pusher. And then there is Blue Had Me at Hello, which would end here. And then there's the 2 from I'm Getting Sunburnt, but the third shadow's broke. So yeah, so that's the ones I put in here, which I still have to arrange these because I don't know exactly how I'm going to put them in here. I don't know if... I'm not sure. I did want, ultimately, all of these palettes to go in with those palettes, but it's not going to work like that because it's not big enough. Excuse me. So I'm going to do a whole nother separate palette for these. And then I guess same thing. If I need extra shadows, I can put them in there. You know what I mean? Okay, so what I want to talk to you guys about before I go is in this palette. I know I did a video not too long ago. It was probably just a couple weeks ago, really. It was a dupe video on, see, these things are, with one hand, not easy to open, on a Wet n Wild shadow that I had found in one of the limited edition palettes. Well, whoa, sorry guys, I'm trying to keep this open here. It was actually a Urban Decay shadow, which I brought the palette over here to show you, because I just want to let you guys know something, because I know a lot of you didn't get a chance to grab any of the limited edition Wet n Wild palettes. I got blessed and lucky enough to have a wonderful friend of mine here on YouTube send them to me, but I found a dupe for the Urban Decay fishnet, and I remember showing you guys that in a video. There's fishnet. It's such a beautiful color. I didn't put any type of primer on my hand or anything, but I just want to show you guys real quick. There's fishnet, and my hand is way better. I'm so happy. So there's fishnet, and I found the dupe for fishnet inside of Shimmer the Night Away, which is, like I said, a limited edition. It's right there. It's actually the definer color. Okay, and I'm going to swatch it just so you guys, just so you guys can see. Sorry guys, I can't talk tonight. It's like crazy insane. Okay, there is Shimmer the Night Away, the color that is the same as fishnet. And like I said, I don't have any primer on, so there's nothing for these shadows to stick to. So I am trying to swatch them the best I can so you guys can see how close they are in color. There you go. Pretty much the same shadow. If you were here seeing these in person, they're the same. The Urban Decay is a little bit more purple. A little bit more purple, but that's it. There's really not that big of a difference. So it is that color. It is in the... It is, I cannot talk tonight, guys. I apologize. It is in the second row, the second color down. It's the eyelid color. Okay? And once again, that is in Shimmer the Night Away. But I have good news, guys, because when I was depotting, I found something out. Okay. If you didn't get a chance to get Shimmer the Night Away, and you don't have fishnet, even if you do have fishnet, I found another dupe. And it happens to be a Wet n Wild shadow. In the 3-pan palette, I'm feeling retro, which would be right here. 1, 2, 3. It comes with a white iridescent brow bone color. Really pretty. And it comes with a, like a bluish crease color right here. Really pretty as well. And then the third color is an eyelid color, which is the same as in Shimmer the Night Away. And it is the same color from the Shimmer the Night Away palette. And I'm going to show you guys. Whoops, sorry, the palette keeps getting away from me there. Look at that. I must have got, hold on guys, let me swatch that again, because I mixed another color with that on accident. Because the palette kept getting away from me. Yeah, I was like, what? Yep, it's the same color. So let me swatch it next to, and actually, this color seems a little bit more pigmented than the one in the Shimmer the Night Away, because I just only had to do that twice. Look at that. So if you did not get a chance to get, and actually, they all look the same, but this one from I'm Feeling Retro is actually more, tell me if I'm crazy, it looks more close to the Urban Decay color. I mean, they're ultimately the same, but I think the one from I'm Feeling Retro right here Whoa, how did my candle just go out? I didn't blow that out. See? This is the weirdness I'm talking about. Weird stuff like that happens to me all the time. But anyways, yeah, if you guys did not get a chance to get Shimmer the Night Away, and you don't have I'm Feeling Retro, or you do, then you have a dupe for Fishnet. And actually, I'm Feeling Retro is part of the permanent collection, so you can get this trio anytime you want, which is really cool, because then you will definitely have a dupe for Fishnet from Urban Decay. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, because I felt so bad when I did that dupe video, because of the fact that I know a lot of people didn't get a chance to get the limited edition palettes, and I was like, man, I wish I could find, you know, more dupes. I'm seeing colors that look the same. I'm gonna have to do some investigating, guys, because look at, and then the Pride palette. I think, if I'm not crazy, I think that Wet n Wild and a lot of the limited edition palettes, I think they re-promoted colors from past palettes, which is fine, but I'm just seeing a lot of colors that look like colors that, this one is so beautiful, oh, look like colors that have been in other palettes, you know what I mean? Like, okay, for instance, right here, Drinking a Glass of Shine, which you guys know that this was brought out again. The palette was called I Love Matte the first time it was brought out, and now it's called Drinking a Glass of Shine. And then when they came out with the Six Pan Shadows Vanity, Lust, Greed, Pride, which I can still get Pride. I think they still sell that. But there is a color that was in the Pride palette. It's right here. It's like a green color. And then in the I Love Matte, look at that. Same color. Okay, so if you have the Pride palette, which is a 6-pan palette, then you have the green color that's in the I Love Matte palette, because I just totally found another dupe in a way, which the Pride one is actually way more pigmented. Either way, it's the same color. And I bet you if I really looked through here, I could find more. Like, I think I just found another one. This is going to end up being a 25-minute long video. Sorry, guys. I might have to do a separate video on this, because I am seeing too many colors that look the same here. Okay, this was in the, what was this? Greed palette, I believe. Yep. I just found another one. Okay, guys. In the Greed palette, this color right here, which is like an awesome flesh tone color, is the same color in the I Love Matte, or the Drinking a Glass of Shine, right there. The same, I'm talking the exact same color. Like, no joke. The exact same color. So if you didn't get a chance to get the Drinking a Glass of Shine or I Love Matte palette, and you do have the Greed palette, then you have this color as well. So I think they took a lot of colors out of other palettes from the past and just put them in these palettes, because I think I see another one. I do. The lighter color right here next to that color that I just showed you, which is an amazingly pigmented color, I think is this one. Yep. the exact same color. So this Drinking a Glass of Shine has 3 colors so far. I'm sorry, 4. 4 colors in it that are from the past Vanity, Greed, and Lust palettes. I'm going to have to do a separate video on this, you guys, because I'm sure I can find more. So you guys will see me for that. But I just want to, oh, I'll show you just before I go. Same color. No difference at all. So I am going to actually go through these now and look. It's crazy the stuff you can find when you are doing, this looks like, I think I'm going to find more dupes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now, guys, because this is 25 minutes long. I just wanted to show you guys the finished product, and now I'm going to go searching for dupes now that I got all the shadows out in front of my face. So I will do a separate video on that. Okay, guys, I will see you soon. Bye.